To continue with our course, we're going to see in this video how we can write a general essay. First of all, this course is divided into two main chapters. Chapter 1, as I've mentioned in the previous video, is about writing an introduction of an essay. However, Chapter 2 deals with writing the body paragraph. As you can see, the quick course has been designed for two different units. However, in this section, we're going to deal with Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 only. In week 1, students will be introduced to how to write an introduction, defining its three main elements. Students will be provided with handouts that explain the main three elements in week 2. Concerning first how to write a hook, students will develop knowledge about writing the hook in a form of a question, anecdote, or a quote. So these two examples are used only for illustration. In week 3, students will be introduced to how to write a background information, which is the second element of an introduction. In week 4, students will be identified to thesis statement and how they write it. In week 5 and 6, students will differentiate between different types of thesis statement, which involves direct thesis statements with the definition, examples, then indirect thesis statement with definition and examples in the next slide. However, in week 6 and on, students will be able to differentiate between the different types of thesis statements following their functions. In this regard, students will know how to narrow down their topic of discussion into two separate topic IDs. They will also be able to inform their readers and know that they are writing for a particular audience in which they need to communicate with them the meaning they want them to get. In week 7 and on, students will be supported with always handouts that include not only functions but also characteristics of writing a thesis statement based on format, language, and content. So from week 5 to 7, students will be assisted with not only examples but also activities that engage them into practice. As you can see in these two following slides, students would have different types of activities such as multiple choice and rearrangement activity to make difference between what is a thesis statement and how does it function into context. One of the important activities that students interact and engage through is the synthesis task. Within this particular task, students will be able to think, pair, and share within groups, will be able to discuss with their peers about their views on how to use thesis statements, explain to one another, analyze different types of thesis statements, and produce their own thesis statements related to topics of their essays. After they produce their introductions, the student will be able to receive feedback from teacher. Then moving to chapter 2, starting from week 8 to week 12, and this is the last week of semester 1. In these few weeks, students will be able to develop different skills in relation to writing, such as developing how They can explain a phenomenon, how they demonstrate it through their ideas, how they outline their writing, presenting different supporting ways to bring evidence to what they try to say, arguing, exemplification, and all of these different competencies. They will also develop a sense of how to share your own opinion with the word, and this word is peers around them. They will also develop how to write a body paragraph in terms of structure. After developing skills on how to write a thesis statement in the very first few weeks of the semester, in these weeks they will know how to break down the thesis statement into two topic sentences that they are going to use them for writing their body paragraphs and supporting sentences in week 10. Moving to week 10 to 11, they will also be assisted with writing different types of supporting sentences and a concluding sentence for their body paragraphs, if it's more than one. In the final week, students will be able to write not only one introductory paragraph, but 3 paragraphs, including 2 body paragraphs, and they will be assessed on those 3 paragraphs within the teacher assessment criteria. In order for the teacher to follow the students' progress, she will assign them with writing reflective thoughts based on what they have learned and what they want to learn next. Thank you very much for watching this short video. Hopefully that was helpful, and these are some of the references I relied on.